All right, welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Berlino here in the world-famous As It Should Be archives. Yeah, okay. Now, of course, we have online on YouTube, we have the vinyl community. Well, today, sorry vinyl community, I'm here to address the 8-track community. Yeah, is there an 8-track community? I don't know. I haven't looked. Are there videos online? Is there really like an 8-track community here online on YouTube? Well, I'm starting it right now if there isn't. So that's what we're doing here. I'm going to show you. I have a box of 8 tracks, and I'm going to show them to you. It's just, it's assorted things. Some, really some good stuff, good bands, good albums, and some fun stuff. But yeah, so it's just a little fun video, just showing you my 8 tracks, because much like kites, 8 tracks are fun. Okay, so, and as always, eyes are a good thing to help you with this. All right, so let's get started. First thing I have here, I have a couple Todd Rundgrens here. I have a really, really terrible, but Ampex copy of Todd Rundgren's Runts on 8-track, right? And the second album, The Ballad of Todd Rundgren, Ampex. This one's actually pretty clean. Yeah. But much better than that, much better than both of those, is Nazz Nazz on 8-track with the slipcover. This is pretty cool. And it has that really great little stereo logo there, which I have scanned and stolen for graphic designs of various sorts. So yeah, don't come after me at SGC. Yeah, all right, so what else do we have in here? Now this is a random one. The Impressions 16 Greatest Hits. Just like this is probably like a gas station. I think you could probably, if you're at the gas station, or you're out, on the highway or whatever, and you stop, you could probably get these, probably at the counter or whatever. I'm thinking, kind of like they have cassettes and things like that. And yeah, I've never played any of these really. I just have them taking up space. But next up, I'm going to show you my Kiss 8 tracks. Yeah, I have a few here. I have a small stack. Some people have really, really great. Well, all the big Kiss fans certainly probably have every single Kiss album on 8-track, every single shell color, everything. I just have a little handful here. I have Kiss Alive, right? And Rock and Roll Over. This is a pretty clean Rock and Roll Over. Actually, all these Kiss, my Kiss 8 tracks are pretty clean. Yeah. Oh, this is an RCA Music Service version of it, which is really how. That's the best way to get 8 tracks back in the day. I mean, if you're getting 8 tracks, you're not concerned about sound quality anyway. So yeah, so just get the Record Club ones. But then we have also an RCA Music Service version, Love Gun. Yeah, very clean. I'm sure it sounds amazing when it fades out in the middle of Got Love for Sale and then fades back in and clicks over. Here we have a dirty one. This one got some use. And it's only the first of, this is a double set, but I only have the first cartridge of Alive 2. But yeah, this is really trash. There's some tape on it and everything. It's just, This one's pretty clean, and it's one of, well, if you watched my very first video I ever made, this is my favorite Kiss album. My favorite Kiss album. Or as Dr. Fuck likes to say, favorite album with the Kiss logo on it. Mine too. Ace Frehley. Yeah. Ace Frehley, this is not a club one. No. But it's a pretty decent copy, huh? Yeah. And last but definitely not least is a really nice Dynasty. In the slipcover, still shrink on. There should be a hype sticker on this. Then I'd be really be excited. But actually, I don't even know if I can even get it out of here. Maybe I shouldn't try. All right, Dynasty. Okay. Next up, I have some Alice Cooper 8-tracks. I only have 3 here. I have Killer, not a club edition, and I have a really, really well-used Love It to Death with the thumb cover. I don't think they ever switched the cover on the 8-track. I've never seen a Love It to Death 8-track with the airbrushed image. And I have 2 of these. I have one at home. I think it's a different, I don't remember if the shell's different, but I have 2 Love It to Death 8-tracks. And, of course, $1 Billion Babies. I mean, you know, right? But all my Alice Cooper 8-tracks are pretty beat. But that's okay, I love them just the same. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, I went into the same exact thrift store. If you watched my first Archives Edition video where I'm just doing random albums, and I talked about the Magic Bus album that I got at the thrift store, that same thrift store, one day I went in there and there was just like this haul of Beatles 8-tracks, just a bunch of them, and I just bought the lot. So I have all of those here. We have Let It Be. Apparently this was number 37 in someone's collection. Alright. And of course, all you US Beatles album fans will love Something New. Right? And, alright, black shell. Coming up in a white shell. Woo! Alright, we have Sgt. Pepper. Yeah. A very psychedelic pink in the background. They pay attention to details with these 8-tracks. Alright. Then we have the double set, 1967 through 1970. Yeah, nothing on the back on these. It's just all the information is on the front. The Beatles are economical. Okay, then of course, Revolver with Paul McCartney's face cut off. I don't know. There we go. With an appropriately psychedelic green back. And again, for you US Beatles fans, Hey Jude. Oh, this was 36 in the collection. All right. All right, well, I guess this all makes sense. This was number 30, Abbey Road. Yeah. And, of course, speaking of double sets, the White Album. Yeah, notice the, you couldn't put just a white cover for this 8-tracks. I mean, you know, who would know? Because if you put just a white cover for the 8-tracks, then you're just going to think it's one of these blank cartridges, right? I do believe this was actually a blank. You could actually buy blank 8-tracks back in the day and record onto them. You had 8-track decks, had a record button, and I used to actually record onto 8-tracks. I remember recording Between the Buttons, Rolling Stones on 8-track, and all kinds of stuff. But more importantly, one day I decided to make a custom 8-track, and this would have been in the 90s, early 90s. Huge Red Cross fan, as a lot of people, as some of you may know, I'm a huge Red Cross fan, and I was especially obsessive about them in the early 90s. And I created this special Red Cross Third Eye 8-track. Yes. Yeah, this was, a red cartridge. I went, this was the early 90s, so we didn't have computers at home. So I went to like Kinko's or something, and I made the label, and I had this cover from just some other 8-track, random 8-track, and I had a shrink wrapping machine at Looney Tunes. So, yeah, so this Third Eye is like a total custom, and I made 2 more, and I gave them to Jeff and Steve McDonald. I'm pretty sure they must have them to this day. Jeff, you still have yours? But what else do we have here? A really pretty nice bookends, Simon & Garfunkel bookends on 8-track. But keeping with the Beatles theme, McCartney. Wings Wildlife. No collection would be complete without Band on the Run. And the album that was hated then but is loved now, Ram. Ooh, how much would a Ram 8-track be worth now? Probably not as much as a Great Lost Kinks album 8-track. Yeah. Now this is a pretty odd album. I mean, the album's great. It's a great album, and it's a really tough album to get, and it's always expensive. It always has been expensive as long as I've been a Kinks fan. But who bought this on 8-track? Well, somebody did, and thank you. And then, of course, we have Soap Opera and Preservation Act 1. Underrated album, Preservation. This one's crap. This one's great. And naturally, of course, I have George Burns Sings on 8-track. Actually, I think I used to have it on, I don't know if I still have it, but I used to have a vinyl copy of this. Because, you know. What else? Casey and the Sunshine Band. I mean, come on. This is probably the format one must have this album in. First Power, East Bay Grease, pretty trashed. And, oh, I apparently paid 95 cents for it. And Grazing by the Friends of Distinction. What else? A Blank Tape, okay. The Tough Guys soundtrack. Yeah, Tough Guys soundtrack. Oh, Isaac Hayes' Shaft on a Super Soul CD. Another one of those gas station 8-tracks. Barry White, just can't get enough. And, ooh, a sealed, Just Another Way to Say I Love You by Barry White. Yeah, sealed Magic Bus, whatever. I have a sealed 8-track. Okay. Now for the Tom Jones collection. These weren't too difficult to come by. Tom Jones Close-Up. I'm a big Tom Jones fan, by the way. I don't think I've really discussed him much on the channel. I love Tom Jones. And Memories Don't Leave Like People Do with Tom Jones giving the Dio sign. She's a lady. Oh. Greatest Hits. I Who Have Nothing. And the creatively titled Tom. Ooh, an additional Greatest Hits. So if anybody needs a great, I have two if you need one. Tom Jones at Caesar's Palace. And The Body and Soul of Tom Jones. All right. Okay, so now on to the Teen Idol section. Yeah, the early 70s Teen Idols. And, well, this one kind of straddles the line here. Davy Jones, a sealed copy of the 1971 Davy Jones solo album. Yeah, okay, and the Osmonds Phase 3, great album. There's some great Osmonds records. This is one of them. On the not-so-great side, we have Donny Osmond Disco Train. Donny Osmond Disco Train. And I used to really like this. It has a special place in my heart because I grew up as a kid in the 70s. Heartbeat's Love Beat by the DeFranco family. Yeah. And no Teen Idol collection would be complete without Bobby Sherman, right? Here comes Bobby. And, of course, John Travolta, the John Travolta album with Let Her In. You 70s kids, you remember this. Yeah, well, somebody decided they needed to buy this and play this in their car on an 8-track. What else here? We have Mark Lindsay, Arizona. Mark Lindsay with his sort of easy listening early 70s solo albums. And speaking of easy listening, the great Carpenters with Close to You. And last but definitely not least, especially in terms of teen idols, the Partridge Family collection. Yeah, I actually have 2 shopping bags, 2 copies of shopping bag. Neither of these came with the shopping bag. I was bummed. And what else do we have here? Crossword puzzle. This is probably not the slipcover crossword puzzle. Red shell. Speaking of not the proper slipcover, I had this slipcover on this album, Up to Date. This is a really great slipcover, though. And Greatest Hits. And of course, Cassidy Live. Black and white cover. The actual album has a color cover, but this 8-track has a black and white cover. I don't know, is it a white label promo? Ooh. Anyway, well, that's it. That is the lot of my 8-track collection. You know, like I said, I have another Love It to Death at home, and I have the Fonzie album. I have a Fonzie 8-track at home. Other than that, this is basically it. Yeah, I know somebody who actually has a Ramones, first album Ramones on 8-track, and then there's somebody else who reportedly has, like, Kiss Unmasked on 8-track. I've never seen that, but apparently it exists. Yeah, so, I don't know. All you people out there, there's some people out there watching this who are like, are you kidding me? I have way crazier, more, you know, impressive and rare 8-tracks. Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me all about them, because yeah, 8-tracks are just weird. They're weird. But anyway, well, thank you everybody for watching this dumb little video on 8-track tapes. And everybody who has subscribed, I thank you. And everybody who hasn't subscribed, maybe consider subscribing. But if you do, click the little bell, because of notifications. You know, like and comment and all that kind of stuff. And come back on Thursday, because Crystal Durant and Tommy Von Voigt are going to be here. Or, well, not here. We're going to be in the World Famous As It Should Be studios, continuing our Albums of the Year series. Yeah, all right. So we'll be seeing you soon.